so excited. I'm so excited. Hello!
And welcome. Today we are showing you our last 6 years of travel on a scratch map.
In part one of this video series, we took you all the way back to our humble travel beginnings, where it all began, our first adventures, leading us into building a digital nomad lifestyle so that we could lead our life with travel. We took you back to our very first one-way ticket trip with some of our more trying travel experiences, and of course, some of our all-time favorite places we've stayed, places that will always have a place in our heart. We took you on a plot twist that led us halfway across the globe to experiences we never even dreamed of having. There was magic, and of course, there were moments that were a little bumpy, leading us to some family news that brought us back to the States. I had full expectation that I was going to come back and that my brother was going to heal. That was what I expected.
Yeah.
And he didn't. So we went to visit him in New Mexico in 2018. This was the beginning of 2018, and he passed away in March of 2018. And our world was flipped upside down.
I was going to say, the only reason I'm going to scratch off New Mexico is because I've never been to New Mexico. Is we were sitting there in hospice with him, and he was like, look, he's like, I can't get out, but he's like, I want you to get out. I want you to see New Mexico. And we're like, no, we came here for you. Like, we're, it's like we all said, like, we're not going anywhere. We're staying. He's like, no, like, take a day, like, see New Mexico. He's like, Santa Fe is we're in Albuquerque, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Albuquerque. He's like, Santa Fe is beautiful. He's like, spiritual, it's magical. He's like, please, like, it's like my wish if you just, so that's what it's like, because we did visit there, and it was a really amazing city.
So I spent a couple of weeks, the most magical couple of weeks with my brother, and I told him travel stories, and he made me promise to not stop this lifestyle. But if you've ever been through grief or loss, it's freaking hard. This is why what did I say was the hardest part of my life earlier?
I know. Going up the volcano, I was like...
Walking up the volcano. Alright, it's freaking hard. And so, we didn't know what to do. Our world was flipped literally upside down. And so we decided to go get an apartment. One night we were in our apartment and I had a dream and I was with my brother. He was like, but you need to go. And I was like, but where? Where do I go? I couldn't plan anything. I couldn't figure it out. Nothing was calling to me. Nothing felt right for us to go to. We talked about a few places and it just didn't feel right. And and he said, you need to go to the UK, or maybe it was England. I can't remember which one. Next day, we booked a ticket to England.
I lost the coin. We need a new one. I might have put it.
How did you lose the coin?
I might have put it in my pocket. I might have dropped it.
Alright, so...
A good storyteller. I got involved into it and...
Thank you, I'm so glad.
That's a big one.
I know, I don't know what it is. I can never... Oh, this is another Euro. We'll just roll with it. Okay, so we did all of the UK.
So, the UK is made up of England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. We actually didn't get to see Wales.
Sorry, Wales.
On this trip.
Went to England. I got to see a double-decker bus.
Is that all you took from England?
So excited.
Oh my gosh. There's a lot of other cool things that we had.
Oh! We started... This is how we travel.
We traveled to a place and then we started looking up like, oh, what's there to do?
So we looked up like best coastal towns in England because we wanted to see the coast. I don't know. And of course, like Brighton, some different places came up, but it was kind of like party. And if you haven't caught on, we're not big partiers. I'm a bit of a grandma. I like to go to bed at like 8 o'clock. I like to be quiet. I don't like loud music.
Her nickname's Little Abuela.
Like for my birthday, all I wanted to do was like go on a little country drive and like eat a scone. So... True story. So we're looking up all these places. They look really busy, vacation, and we found this little place called Eastbourne. And it looked super cute and quaint and like perfect. And so we flew into London, we went to customs, and he was like, can I do my British accent? Is that okay?
Yeah, let's hear it.
He was like, hello, welcome.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Hello.
Some people in the comments with this one, but yeah.
Welcome to England. And where are you headed for your first stop?
I was like, Eastbourne?
It was stopping in his tracks. He literally was like, only old people go there. And we were like,
we haven't met her yet.
So we went to Eastbourne. We had an amazing time. It was stunning. That was the first time we drove on the left side of the road. Okay, so we're on our first London adventure. Are you excited?
Stoked.
First stop, other side of the car. He was so jet lagged.
How am I doing?
So good.
I didn't sleep at all the entire flight. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait just to like take a nap. On the way to Eastbourne, it's like 2.5 hours, and she's like, I'm not driving.
I don't know how to drive stick shift. I've never driven on the left side of the road. That doesn't seem like a good time to start.
I was like, you get to learn everything all at once. I thought it would have been a good, good adventure.
So he drove super jet lagged. He did an amazing, outstanding job.
I don't know, maybe it was good that I was jet lagged, that I just did it without thinking about it. Driving on the wrong side of the road. We get to Eastbourne and they're like, oh, you can't check in yet, until like 3 or 4 o'clock. And so they're like, you can just have a seat, have a pint. And I was like, all right, cool. So I go and I have a seat next to this like bookshelf. I think it's a bookshelf at the time. And so I'm like looking at all these books and I'm like drinking my pint and I'm talking to Megan and she comes back over and she's like, who are you talking to? And I was like, what? And she's like, I haven't been here. She's like, I've not stood here at all. I was like, you were just sitting there. And she's like, no. And she's like, let's get you some rest. And I was like, well, let's hang out here and read a book. And she's like, that's wallpaper. It was like books. It's like a wallpaper of books. So it looked like a bookshelf, but it wasn't a real bookshelf. Like, these are real books. It was not. I was like, well, yeah, let's take a walk.
So we explored Eastbourne. It was amazing. We went and saw the Seven Sisters Cliffs, which were absolutely stunning. That was one of the reasons we chose Eastbourne. The chalk cliffs. They were so beautiful. There's another famous chalk cliffs. I can't think of the name.
Dover?
Yeah, Dover. And we read that these were cooler. So saw that, went to Stonehenge. Stonehenge was amazing. Stayed in the cutest little town, Salisbury. I'm obsessed with it. People are like, why are you obsessed with that? I don't know. I just thought it was the cutest little town ever. Loved it. And then we flew to Scotland. And I promised Andrew that I wouldn't talk for an hour.
About just Scotland. Scotland captured our hearts, but maybe captured all of Megan. I'm not sure. It's, if you can't tell, her favorite country. I mean, we got a Highland cow behind her here.
I could cry thinking about it. I miss it so much. So Scotland wasn't on my radar. He was so excited because we traced back to his ancestry and we actually found his family castle.
Walking the streets of Scotland.
Let's go find Johnston Castle.
Ooh. We did.
Johnston Castle.
I was very upset because they pretty much took away the entire castle, but they left one area and remodeled it, made it into a really cool looking home. But I was like, we're going to see the castle. And I got there and it was like, they tore it down. Yeah. We are standing in front of the Johnston Castle, and my family did a Ancestry.com, traced our origins back to this castle. It was built in 1580, so pretty crazy. It's now surrounded by a neighborhood, and as you can see here, the only remaining part of it is actually the tower of the castle. It was deconstructed. And now is actually a residence. Scotland has the nicest people there. It's just, the country you have cities, but then right outside, especially Edinburgh, I mean, you see an extinct volcano and you see just greenery everywhere and the sea on the other end. It's just unlike any place, any country that we've ever been to.
It's amazing. And then we went to Northern Ireland for my birthday. Yeah. We did a Game of Thrones tour. Remember I said I have a love of finding where films and TV shows are filmed, and Game of Thrones is my favorite. It's still my favorite. Season 8 was amazing. Fight me on it in the comments if you want.
Might have a couple people take you up on that.
It's fine. We found all those spots, and I got to wear Circe's crown on my birthday.
Literally, we went to the jewelry store that had the crown, and she's like, oh, it's your birthday? She's like, do you want to wear Circe's crown? And it was like her face.
And this wonderful, wonderful man of mine booked me a castle to stay in like a true queen, and I had the most magical night of it.
Golly golly.
Golly golly.
Yep.
We loved you.
Yep.
Back to London, we had afternoon tea, which was a complete spontaneous moment of itself because we wound up getting free afternoon tea at one of the top hotels.
Thanks, Laura.
Yeah, one of the top hotels in London. And we did a few touristy things in London. We did
all the touristy things. I'm not even going to hold back on that.
Except Big Ben.
Oh, yeah. Big Ben's under construction, or it was at the time. So she's like, where's Big Ben at? And I was like, do you see that giant thing that's covered up?
It's
like,
draped.
Literally they draped the entire clock.
I wanted to check out all the touristy London things.
Yeah.
And Big Ben was...
Just gives an excuse to go back to London.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then we booked a trip randomly, because why not, to Dublin, Ireland and Rome, Italy.
It was my birthday. And she said, where do you want to go on your birthday in January? And I said, I want to see Rome. I was like, I don't know what it is. I'm being called to it. And I want to see Rome. Well, then our layover was in Dublin, Ireland. And so I was like, well, let's just extend our layover, catch our next flight out. We went there, went to the Guinness factory, learned how to pour the perfect Guinness. That was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun on my birthday
I have to
week.
say, the Guinness factory was hands down my favorite, like, scheduled tour that we've ever... We're not big tour people. I would go do it again. And again,
100%.
and again, and again, and
Yeah.
again, and again.
It's
And
very
at the end,
cool.
you get to drink a Guinness on the roof and overlook all
And because it was in January, there was no line.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. This is a huge lesson we learned on your birthday trip. We love going places on off season.
Yeah.
That happened in Dublin. Then we flew over to Rome. Empty.
Yep.
We did a Colosseum tour. No, first we did the Vatican. She was like, you all don't understand, like, this is usually like a 4-hour wait.
And people are just like piled in. She's like just going through, but it was literally, there was like 6 of us.
Yeah.
Just going through the Vatican, taking pictures, listening to
So
things.
Sistine Chapel.
So, yeah.
It was amazing.
It was. Also eating pizza at 12 a.m. there on my birthday. The pizza in Italy. There's no better pizza in the world. Fight me on that in the comments. Because then,
We
of
got
course,
some fights going down in the
yeah.
comments, you all.
'Cause then we went to Naples, and that really had the best pizza.
Okay, we made it to Naples. Andrew looks so thrilled.
I just want pizza. I'm going to talk about pizza the rest of this video. Stand back now. Do you remember the restaurant we went to in Naples that did have the best pizza?
It's literally where the birthplace of pizza. So we'll put the
The
name right
Napoleon.
here. Bing!
Yeah.
It's literally the birthplace of pizza, and I think he was in pure bliss.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I remember like biting into it, and it was just like all my taste buds going off, and it was just
like, when the moon hits
Yeah,
you
there we
like a big pizza pie.
that's amore. Okay, it was like that.
So we went to Naples
Times a million.
to eat pizza, and then we went to Pompeii, which is...
Again, we're like the only people
we
in
weren't,
Pompeii.
like, really...
Completely lost in Pompeii.
It's incredible how preserved they have done everything in Pompeii. It's also very chilling. I actually have goosebumps like talking about it right now.
Yeah, we didn't take a lot of pictures or videos
No.
there, just kind of in
Respect.
yeah.
Yeah. Left Naples. Actually went back to Rome. Saw more sites. Like the Roman Forum.
The Colosseum. The Fountain.
We ate
Fountain
incredible
Trevi.
food.
Right. Trevi Fountain.
Trevi Fountain. People kept handing us wine. It was amazing. Went back to Dublin. Ate some incredible food at Darky Kelly's. If you're in Dublin and you want some Irish food, Darky Kelly's. We think about the Guinness stew there.
Oh yeah. Often.
All the time.
And I love something about Ireland is that you can go into a pub and they're just playing, like they're just sitting playing live music, you know, just hanging out. Like people literally just come and have different instruments and sit around drinking beer, hanging out. And it's like in a booth.
You just feel like you're part of the family. Like they're like, hey!
Yeah. Americans in Ireland, hey!
Alright, so it's time for another travel chapter.
So we're back in the States, back in Florida at our apartment.
And we're sitting there one day in March or April in 2019. And we were on the computer and we were looking at flights. We saw a one-way ticket to London for $100. So we looked at each other. We said, should we do it?
And then she was like, let's think about it. And I was like, okay. And she turned around and I was like, I did it.
So this time we said, let's put our stuff in storage just in case. And in that moment, we wanted to get a one-way ticket. We wanted to go live in Scotland.
Yeah. And it's like we love Scotland so much. We had such like a great like energy and feeling. And again, the people were just so welcoming. And I was like, let's go to Scotland. Let's move to Scotland. Let's use it as our kind of our home base. And we'll start kind of visiting these other countries.
So we flew over there. So we've landed in London. Our flight out to Scotland is not till 9 p.m. It's 7 a.m.? Is it 7 a.m.? 8 a.m. So we found this cute little hotel in the airport. It's like I'm in a little boat. Well, after we almost killed each other, we decided...
She was angry and sleepy. It's a bad combination.
Speak for yourself. We decided to come into London for a minute.
2 hours.
We had a place in Edinburgh that was booked. If you know anything about Scotland, we flew there in August. That's when the Fringe Festival is. So Edinburgh is a little crazy in August. Just a casual stroll in our new backyard.
Anybody else hear the bagpipes? Oh, yeah.
But we knew like, oh, we probably won't stay in Edinburgh during Fringe Fest because it was a little crazy. So we got a place in Aberdeen. It didn't work out.
Airbnbs, you know, it's sometimes are a hit or miss. This one was a miss.
This one was a miss. So we got out of it. We got another place in Dundee, Scotland, which was just fun, random. We got like a in-between place. So we were like, what are we going to do? It's Fringe Fest.
I just started looking at flights and I was like, all right, there's a cheap flight to Portugal. I've never been to Portugal. You've never been to Portugal. So
let's go to Portugal.
Yep. Hey, we went to Portugal, stayed in Lisbon for a couple weeks. Really fun town. Learned a ton of different things just kind of about Portugal and about the people, and we ate a lot of local places, so that was really cool. And then we headed down to southern Portugal to
Algarve Region.
Yeah.
I might be saying that wrong. It's been a while, but we saw the Bengali Caves, which was amazing. That was like on Andrew's bucket list forever.
Mm-hmm.
It was so beautiful. It was August. It was like it was beautiful. And then we headed over to Spain and we met a friend there. That was super fun.
Yep.
So we went to Madrid.
And yeah, it's like our friend was like, yeah, you know, I don't mind showing you around. Like, come on. And so we're like, okay, you know, figured we'd see a couple things. You know, thank you, Veronica. She took you. You know, it's like I'll just talk straight to you. You took us everywhere. We're so appreciative of everything.
And the food.
And yeah, and it's the food, right?
And the wine. At this point, it was time to go back to Scotland because that was what we wanted to do, and we were just really called to spend more time in Scotland.
Especially before it got cold.
Yeah. So we headed back to Scotland. Where did we go? Dunfermline. I was like, where did we stay first? Yep. Dunfermline. Everyone in Scotland thought it was the most random place. We had an amazing time.
It was. It's the birthplace of Andrew Carnegie, one of the wealthiest Scotsmen that lived here and really grew the steel industry here in the States.
Yep. So. And Dunfermline is part of Fife, which is a region in Scotland.
A region. The Kingdom of Fife.
The Kingdom of Fife, and we explored St. Andrews. We did so many road trips. I mean, just road tripping around Scotland makes my heart sing.
Went to Stirling Castle.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
A lot of history around it.
So many amazing places.
This video would be so long if we told you every single destination.
I'm trying so hard not to.
I know.
And then one day we were sitting in our place in Dunfermline looking at plane tickets, as we do.
Megan had been kind of talking about some foods that she'd been missing in Scotland. And one of those things was a waffle. So, as we were looking at flights to different countries, she didn't know what I was particularly looking at because I was trying to kind of look at all the other countries, but I was looking at Belgium for a Belgian waffle. We found, I looked down, and it was a $13 a ticket. So it cost us $26 to fly to Belgium.
What? This is like, if you're not American, this is unheard of in the States.
I think the waffles are more expensive than that in Belgium. So we ended up in Belgium. We got to Belgium, and everyone's like, why did you come to Belgium? Well, for the waffles.
Okay, so we got some hot chocolate.
And we went to Bruges, right?
Belgium blew my mind, not just because of the waffles.
I was about to say, just because of the waffles or other things?
Not just because of the waffles or the fries or the beer or all the other food we saw, but Belgium had some of the most gorgeous architecture that I've ever seen. It was absolutely stunning. So we spent a little bit of time.
She really likes the Gothic
It was so gorgeous. And we ate some food and had some beer, and then we flew back to Scotland, and we stayed in Edinburgh across the street from a graveyard. I liked that.
Okay, let's say I like that the other side of the street was the Royal Mile.
Yeah.
I mean, that leads to Edinburgh Castle.
Or Holyrood Palace.
Yeah, or literally we walk out our front door and there's Holyrood Palace. You know, it's like these places are huge. It's like every Scot or anybody in the UK watching this knows either one of those places. And so it's like, it was so crazy. And then in the distance, again, I could see Arthur's Seat. And it was just a quick hike out of the city. So I'm in the city. It's Old Town, so it's like got all this. It's just like hundreds of years of history. You walk up and down there, but then just 20 minutes away, you walk, and then you're on top, and you can oversee. You're on top of Arthur's Seat, and you can see like the entire city of Edinburgh.
Yeah,
like
it was a really.
Oh my gosh,
really...
I loved that place. I would have bought that place. I would have stayed there forever. It's White Horse Castle or White Horse.
White Horse Close.
Close.
So we explored Scotland some more. We obviously went on some more road trips, train rides. We got a castle pass. We saw as many castles as possible. And I started watching Outlander while we were in Scotland. If any Outlander fans are out there, so you know, we had to go find all the filming spots.
Yes we did.
Andrew thinks this was intentional, but this was the happiest accident ever. We drove right past the castle that they used in Outlander. I mean, duh, we had to stop. So we explored palaces, we explored castles, we saw all the things, we did all the things. Winter happened in Scotland, and we were like, oh my gosh.
I shaved my beard and it got really cold.
Actually, it wasn't the cold that led us back. We just saw a guy walking in shorts and a t-shirt. Brr. Hey babe, are you cold?
Just another nice summer day. Nice fall day. Oh my gosh, I can't breathe.
But look, a castle. All the girls are in really cute dresses and rompers, and I'm bundled. It really wasn't cold, I swear. In all seriousness, it was honestly a combination of circumstances, but really more so these like intuitive nudges. That is just like way too far of a rabbit hole to go down right now because the story will be forever long.
And essentially those nudges led us, back here to the States right before 2020.
Which we all know how that went. So yes. Here we are, and we've been loving sharing our adventures, and we cannot wait to share more.
Over the last few years of traveling, we have met just so many amazing people that, we were able to impact, but not only that impacted us. And that's where we were like, wow, how can we impact more people? How can we influence people, more to be able to just break out of your comfort zone, go on an adventure, go and do these amazing things, right? That, anyone can do. There's nothing holding you back. And that's kind of what we've decided to just kind of keep on going. So yeah, keep traveling, keep having adventures, and meeting people like yourself all around the world. That's literally why we started this channel. So we're so excited to continue sharing these stories. And thank you for being here. We are seriously so grateful. Where's the next place you want to go? Well, besides going back to Scotland. Of course, besides that. It changes like every week, but I really have a pull to 2 places. Can I pick 2? Sure. Okay, cool. I really want to go to Switzerland, and I really want to go to Poland. Okay. What about you? What's your next bucket list stop? Do you think you could guess? If I had to guess, I would guess Greece. Oh, close, but Russia, actually. Oh. Yeah, really just something... That would be a good thing to scratch off. Yeah, right? It would look like we'd visit a lot more places. That's not the reason, though. I've just culture. There's so much that I wanted to like learn about Russia. And second, we've almost been there. We've almost gone a couple times.
Canada?
It's in this area.
Egypt.
Yep. I know. It's one of those things. I want to see the pyramids. They've always captured my imagination ever since like I was very little. I remember like seeing them and being like, whoa, like no way. So I can't wait to see those in person.
I want to hear from you. What is your like bucket list destination, or just like the next place that you're seriously feeling like pulled to go visit? I want to hear from you. Drop it in the comments. Let us know. Thank you so much for watching through part 1 and part 2 of this series. I hope you enjoyed hearing our travel stories. It was kind of a blast to just go back through them.
I'm glad that we got to share with you all, and yeah, definitely share with us some things in the comments.
And with that, keep traveling, friends.
All right.